Open your ears and listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. If your 25-year-old self would see you now, she would be in shock. The seven things that I did to help me live a more fulfilled life. You cannot be running on empty and try to fill others up. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sam. This channel is called Simply Mrs. B, and you are welcome. I do have my notepad here because I did jot down some points that I wanted to discuss, or the seven things that I did to help me live a more fulfilled life now as a mom. What I want to say, these are just based off of my own personal views and based off of the mothers that I also know that are around me, and of course, my very own mother. So, one thing that I do notice is that us as women, we always, once we start having kids, once we get married, the first thing we do is to put ourselves and our life on hold because first we want to be a very good mother. We always want to be a good wife. So we tend to put all our goals and aspirations in the back burner, especially if we have not accomplished them. Now, rightly so, there are some of us that accomplish what we wanted to accomplish before we got married, but we did not know our identity or what we would be after marriage or what we would then like. If you grew up in my community, the Nigerian community, it's kind of like we are brought up, especially those of us from the east, southeast, south. I can't speak for any other tribe because I only know more on the eastern side and the south. Um, we are brought up that once we get married, our joy and our the fulfillment of life for us is just being a good wife and being a good mother and making sure that everybody is taken care of, and then that's your goal. Which again, there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what it is for you, then absolutely fine. But for me, at the beginning, it was okay. Navigating being a wife and then a new mom. But I slowly realized that my life became all about just like my husband and my kids, taking care of them and worrying about them, the lack of sleep, even when you're sleeping. Your brain is still functioning like round the clock, like, okay, what are they going to eat? What are they going to do? What are they, like, just various things. Like I could never really relax like I used to relax. And I also noticed that I gave up on a lot of things that I used to love to do, i.e., reading, um, traveling. Well, with traveling, I see a lot of mothers that would, do it now with their infants. For me, it wasn't even an option. Um, Well, it wasn't like it wasn't an option. I wasn't even in the mental space for that. I didn't even think it was possible. I kind of just thought that my life was, it's just all about husband, children, and that was it. I also loved to go out back in the day. Yes, I was one of those people. I remember my mom. She was saying, if your 25-year-old self would see you now, she would be in shock. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, once upon a time, the Samantha that I know would never leave the house looking like this, let alone having a bonnet on my head. My mom didn't know, but she started like a chain reaction then. And I started thinking, I'm like, dang, I did let myself go. Um, wow, okay. And then I started thinking, I was like, oh my God, I used to love reading. I used to buy a whole bunch of books. Then I would read on end. When it talks about partying, I mean, now I tried it afterwards, trying to find myself. It's not for me anymore. I think I'm all partied out. I don't gravitate towards clubs anymore. I could care less. And then when I go to like people's function, it's good to have good company. But back in the day when I when I hear music, my body see like I start dancing. But anyways, I say all that to say that I'm going to give you guys the 7 things that I did to help me live a more fulfilled life after having kids and getting married. So, first and foremost, you need to get a sheet of paper and you need to write down what you like, the things that you love to do, either before you got married or things that became an add-on for you as you got married and started or when you started having kids. Make a list, because if you cannot determine what you like, how are you going to work towards living a more fulfilled life? Does that make sense? So the first thing you want to do is make a list. Number 2, don't be like me. You need to spend more time outside. Like, go out, be outside, outdoors. And I'm not necessarily saying that you need to go to parties or clubs or whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. If it's not your sin, it's not your sin. To me, it's not my sin. Even when I go on vacations and they have night programs, you barely find me there. Like, you have to drag me by the eyelids. I still love my sleep. At least that didn't change from before kids to after kids. Love my sleep. I do not joke with that. So, yeah, but you need to spend more time outdoors. I think that was one of the things that I did that wasn't good for me. I was always indoors, and if I ventured outside, it was to go to the parks. And slowly it became a habit. And I remember in 2017, now, before you come for me, you were not fat. You were never fat. For people that knew me, before my YouTube life, I was never one considered to be on the fat side. However, like I would always say to my bestie, and she understands, you are talking about somebody that is coming from a size 0, size 2. At least at one point in time, I was a double 0. And coupled with the fact that I was tall, not was, I'm still tall, that I am tall, I looked extra skinny. So that when you now add, now I'm between a size 4 and a size 6, depending on how, but they would consider me a size 4, but I would wear either a 4 or a 6. Um, Considering the number of sizes, you can understand why I would get into a form of, you know what? I can admit it. I was depressed. I got into depression. I was depressed. It was just something that bothered me a lot. And that contributed to that because I was always indoors and then I was always talking like sweatpants. And usually when you're wearing sweatpants, you don't know how much weight you're gaining. You are gaining. Well, it would just be one day you want to put on an outfit and then you're like, "Ugh, I can't get in. What's going on?" So I say all this to say that you need to spend more time outside. Go to the park, go to the mall, walk around, see what's going on, go to functions. Don't just stay indoors and be like, oh, I'm an indoor person. Nobody's an indoor person. Everybody likes to go out. I don't care what anybody say. Oh, I love my indoors. No, you don't. Because we can all tell when COVID came, you all saw what happened. Everybody was so you know, angry about being inside. But you need to get out more. Number three, you need, as a mother, all the mothers, come forward. Open your ears and listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Point number three, please do something that you love to do. Not what your kids love to do, not what your husband loves to do. What do you want to do for yourself? And do it. So you need to find something that you love for yourself and do it. Have I made myself clear? Don't think about, oh, how will my husband survive? He will survive. He's a grown man. He survived before he married you. So he's going to survive even if you take 2 days for yourself to go relax, reboot, because you need it. You cannot be running on empty and try to fill others up. And that is what is killing a lot of mothers these days. You need to find time, find what you love to do and do it. Point number four, on this channel, you know what this, you can guess. If you can guess what this point is, I am into fitness and I would always encourage anybody to do fitness. Invest in yourself. Right now, I do take Pilates class. Every year, I always find something that I'm going to, a program that I'm going to join. Either swimming, Pilates, boot camp. It doesn't matter what if I need it or not. I'm there. I'm doing it. So exercise. That's my point number four. You need to exercise. You need to go find I'm not talking about going to the gym and running for like 2 days. Start paying money. Invest in yourself. Invest in your fitness. I know I haven't personally looked into this, but I've heard people say all the time that exercising helps you live a longer life. Whether it's true or not, go ahead and do it. I do think it's true. You feel healthier. You don't pant for just walking half a mile or climbing up a flight of stairs. You're going to be here longer for your children if you exercise. And I'm not talking about going to a gym membership and subscribing to have access to a treadmill. No, what I am saying here is that you need to invest in some form of workout program. Once you start paying money to go into a workout program, you're going to show up, and then you can be more accountable to yourself. And point number five, you need to start eating healthy and regularly. A lot of us, once we become mothers, the first thing that we start doing is eating our children's leftovers, especially if you're like me, you don't like waste. When your kids don't finish their food, you're like packing up. And sometimes you forget to eat. And then you're eating at late at night, thereby increasing your tummy fat that you didn't even want in the first place. And also like caring what every other person eats but yourself. When was the last time you did the cleansing for yourself? When was the last time you cooked something that, okay, I want to eat this? Or just, going out and eating healthy food once in a while, like just not something that you cooked. Get into the habit of eating healthy and not just, eating anyhow or just eating anything that is in your face because you don't want to waste the food. Baby A decided, that he wouldn't finish his food, or baby B decided that she wouldn't finish her food. So you're like the dustbin, the trash that just so that there's no waste. No, honey, start eating healthy food and commit to that. And point number six, you need to get into a good sleep schedule. A lot of us, our spouses, our children are getting good sleep schedule, and we over here, we are there stressing. That's the reason why, as a mom, you see that we are not aging more. One thing I love about the men, I would always say that I love guys for this. They would always prioritize their self first. Now, as a mom, obviously, emotionally, mentally, we don't have the ability or capability to do so. But if you start training your children to have a good sleep schedule, that would also help you. So help them get into a good sleep schedule so that you can also schedule yourself into a good sleep schedule. Because if you're trying to lose weight, be fit, and all that, the one thing they will always tell you is you need to sleep. Well, you can't be working on 4 hours of sleep and expecting some form of body weight loss. It's not going to happen. You need to sleep well. And aside from even the weight loss, you need a healthy sleep so that your body can rejuvenate, get back, whatever was lost during the day. And just for your overall health, you need to get into a good sleep schedule. All right? And last but not least, you need to start listening to good music, listening or a good book. For me, I do have moments where I like some, music here and there, but I get tired of music. So for me, it's always a good book. Now, this is something that was before pre-babies and what I've always loved to read a good book. So get on with that. So I think that comes to the end of this video. I hope that this point that helped me to live a fulfilled life will also help you to live a more fulfilled life. Share this video to all mothers who need to start living a more fulfilled life. I want to say thank you if you watched up to this moment. And if you are not subscribed and you watched up to this moment, what are you doing? I'm waiting. Hit the subscribe button. I'm waiting. Do it. It's just down below. Down below. Hit the subscribe button. And also, let me know your thoughts and let me know what points you would be incorporating into your life. And with that, my lovelies, I will see you all on my next video. Have a good one.